This morning, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. We've got people from all over the world joining us today. We've got some older customers that have been with us for many years and also some newbies. So everyone is very, very welcome. We love being able to support our clients by making sure that we provide these webinars to show you the tips and tricks and new things that we've been able to deliver for you in Eventdraw. Just a little bit of housekeeping to begin with. We have David Perry here today. So both Jay and David are the co-founders of Eventdraw. I'm sure probably a lot of you have met them. David knows more about room diagramming than I think anyone on the planet. And we're very lucky to have him join us today. He's taking all his skills from CAD planners and Visio Group and 20 years of working in the industry. So I think we can all thank you, David, for coming along and providing us with this great webinar. I'm going to be moderating the chat. My name's Mel Ivory. I'm the Global Director of Sales for Eventdraw, and I'm here to support you for whatever you need. I will be moderating the chat. Oh, wait, we've got some people trying to get audio on. But please know that's not a bad segue to my next comment, and that is we will be providing a recording of this webinar to everyone that registered, and then we also will be placing it on the website. So you might have people in your organisation that you think, I really think they should have been here. Absolutely no problem. We will have a recording. I'm just going to, it's in there. Hey Dale, you're on? Awesome. So I will ask that everyone puts themselves on mute, if that's okay. And without further ado, we might get started. So like I said, no question's a bad question. Make sure you ask, and we'll make sure that we cover all of the Q&A at the end. If it's something that's really applicable to what we're showing now, then I will give David a poke and see if we can get that covered on the way through. All right, so over to you, Dave.
Great, thank you very much, Mel. Thank you, everyone. So today I'll just be going through doing a typical floor plan, no sort of set agenda. Hopefully you'll see things that I probably just do automatically. They go, oh, I didn't know I could do that. So obviously, chat to our moderators, Mel and Jay and the other team there to ask any questions as we go. This is your time to ask questions as well. So I'm just going to start off. So we've got a floor plan here. I've just sort of already put some round tables on there. Let me just get rid of those and we'll just start these ones again. And I'm just going to start with an empty floor plan. I will go through the shapes here, but typically we'll go through our favorites as well. But I'm just to begin with, I'm just going to type in stage. And when I do a search, I'm just going to find one here, 2.4, 1.2, just for this exercise. I'm just going to drag that out. Holding the control key and my mouse on the wheel, I've just zoomed in and zoomed out like so. While that stage is still selected, I can then just hit my copyright button and we just bring those across a few times. And I'll go through now, select the whole lot, and we'll just go copy down a few times as well. I'm going to select that. I'm just going to push that back into that space there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to my round table. So I'm just going to type in 1.8 for round, or if you use feet, you can also type in 6 feet as well, which will give you all the tables that will come up there on your screen. However, let's just do the 1.8, and I'm just going to drag out a 1.8 meter round table and place it on the plan. So what happens now is when I select this item and I go there's a number way of copy the plans. So firstly, just by selecting it, I can go copy right, and that just copies it right straight across the plan there. If I select them all, I can go copy down like so. So it's really quick and easy to put these plans in that sort of an order like so. We can take this a step further. So by clicking these tables, these are dynamic tables. So I'm just going to select the first one here, come up to modify table. And this is where we can start to say, okay, how many chairs that I want to put around that table. Yes, I can do one at a time, or I can select the whole lot and I can come here and do it all at the same time as well. Further properties within that table, for example, cabaret, I click the cabaret box and I might just adjust the chairs. Let's say I want 6. and I'm just going to adjust the spacing level around those as well. And as you can see, they're not facing the correct way. So with our rotation angle, I can just type in, oops, wrong way. I can just type in 90, and that will bring me back to facing the stage there. Other aspects of this table as well, we can add, I'll come back to table numbering, but we can do show table number text, and we can do show chair numbers as well, like so. While I have them all selected, I'm going to number these tables now. So just by going up to numbering and table zigzag, and just by selecting these predefined templates, I can go through here, and I'm just going to select the first one, and that's now gone through and numbered those for me. If there's other ways you need to number them, you can just choose these other ways as well, like so. If you have a preset way of numbering tables, you say, look, that's not the way I do it. You also have an option to come to numbering and manual numbering. This screen will pop up here, start from number 1, and I might start from number 1 over here, and I might just quickly go through and number them manually. And as I click on these, they will go through and change the numbers as I go, like so. But what we'll do for this exercise, we're just going to go back to numbering, zigzag, and we'll come back to here like that. Another way of copying tables, I'm just going to, now that you've seen how to manipulate those tables further, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to delete all these. I'm just going to select this first one again, and actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring a new one out, a nice fresh one, like so. You'll see this particular table here, we get a lot of questions about distance, copy distance as well. So by default, when you drag this out and click it, you'll see the default setup over here. Now, let's say you wanted your is different. You've dragged out one of the existing tables. You've clicked on it, and you say, look, we actually use 1.6 in our organization. And again, as you put your mouse over it, you don't have to use meters. You can put feet, inches, and so forth and so forth. And now when I click it, and if I just turn on the shape boundary, you'll see now as I copy this across, it's like that. You can see how it copies that across. Now, the good thing about Eventdraw as well is you have these favorites. So if I bring down my favorites, so although you've copied one of the existing shapes over, you've made modifications to this, but you don't want to have to keep going in and changing it to 1.6. So I might just turn this table boundary off, and I'm just going to save this back to my favorites by just dragging it straight back here, and I can call it whatever I like. Round table, 1.8 meters, like so, and I just go apply. That's now saved to my favorites. Okay, so you can bring this out, always knowing that's going to be 1.6 meters in the setup properties there.
Amazing. Dave, we just have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
The function, the search function for shapes.
Sure.
So we do actually have a search function
Yes.
just at the top there. Do you want to just show how that works, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. So what this does, this searches all shapes that are currently listed here in these individual stencils, like so. So if I type in stage, for example, I will get the whole list where it's called stage. If I type in, say, truss, all the items that will come up that are truss there as well. And you can simply grab that and just drag them straight onto the plan.
Amazing. There was a second. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Sure.
Oh, there was a second part to the question, which was, can you alphabetize the shape names? Now, you can't, but you can actually decide how the order you want in favorites.
Yeah, exactly right. So these favorites, whatever changes you make to these favorites, will see they're company wide. So they'll see all your users for your organization will be able to see these. But you can go in and just click this button here, and you can then go through and you can say, okay, I want this to appear in this area. I want all the tables together, and you can modify this accordingly and put that in whatever order you like. While you're on here, you can also go in and rename these as well to whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call this large stage instead of stage large, and so forth and so forth.
I think also, Dave, just make mention that it's actually a 2-save process. So if you have a look, Dave will say, oh no, it's gone straight back. Just make sure that once you've done those changes, just click on that purple save button so it reflects the changes.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, anything you bring out to the plan, you can then save these back to your favorites, and you will start creating furniture that's perfectly matched for your particular venue there.
That's perfect. While we're still on favourites,
Sure.
someone said, hello, is there a measuring tool? And there is, and it's in shapes.
Absolutely. So again, that's a very good question. So I'm just going to type in dim, short for dimensions. I can type in the full name, but as I start typing, it will start to auto search. And I'm just going to, I found some dimension lines here. So what I can do, I'm going to drag this out here and I'm going to plonk it on the plan. And as I drag these here, it will adjust accordingly, and I can bring these back and sort of measure items between here. While I'm on these shapes, I can right click and I can change the units as well. So I might make those feet. I can also meters or whatnot. Depending on where you're located in the world, you also have the option under your profile here to go to settings, and this will change the feet and meters globally throughout the system for you. So you won't have to keep changing it for dimension lines.
And just quickly, Dave, we might just save that one back to favorites just so they know again what
Yeah.
we've just done. But
Yeah, great idea. So I've just selected that one there, and I'm just going to drop it back to my favorites, so I don't have to keep looking for it in the future. Little note: it does give you an option. Do you want to show it on the inventory report? No, we don't. So I'm just going to. You don't want to show dimensions on the inventory report, so we just get rid of that, and we can bring those out now. Just remember, as Jay said before, to hit the save button up the top here.
and if you do want to find it, you don't have to use a search. If you just look in our first group of shapes, which is tables and chairs, it'll always be the first two items in there.
Yeah, 100%.
Amazing. So we do have one more question that's actually still in shapes.
Great.
We also have like the dynamic fields, so the drawn by and contact name. So we do have underneath in shapes a couple of dynamic fields that you can bring across, including who drew it and the date. Do you want to just show that, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you can do, just under basic shapes and building, these are some date stamps. So these will automatically update as you drag these on the plan revised dates. This is one for US date as well. So we've got the month first in this case. And you can also bring out something like your file name. So you can sort of set these up here however you like onto your plan, and make those part of your floor plan. We've got a group one there as well that you can use that's sort of already done like for you, like so.
There's some good questions coming through, Dave. So I think
Sure.
I was going to start reading those out, but there's really good.
Yeah, I was
Awesome.
actually just thinking maybe we should just keep going with the flow, and if it relates to what we're showing, then we'll do it, and if not, we'll leave them to the end if that's okay with everyone, just to make sure that we cover everything, because we actually do have quite a lot to cover.
Yeah, 100%. So just a couple of things on copying again, using your copy buttons up here. We can now also just using your corner buttons here, right down, right left, you can sort of get that sort of arrangement as well, where you don't have to go straight up and straight down. But once you've done one, you can select the whole lot and then just start to bring these down like so as well, to copy those down to give that sort of an arrangement. What also is a very big time saver. So I'm just again going to bring out my 1.8 and I'm going to drop it here. I'm just going to place it up above near the stage here because I need a bit of room. Once I drop it here, I'm going to hold down the shift key, okay? And this is the auto fill feature. So by holding down the shift key, I'm just going this really slow at the moment just so you can see what's happening. I can fill that space really quickly just by using the auto fill feature. I'm just going to quickly show you that again. I'm going to place that one up the top there. And by selecting the table, holding down the shift key, I can then place those in there accordingly. The spacing it uses is whatever's been set up on your properties over here. So that's the space that was used for this particular function.
And Dave, we might just quickly just show that with, say, a banquet chair, just so
100%.
Different equipment applies with the same rule.
Yeah, definitely. So just got a standard banquet chair here. I'll get rid of my table. Obviously, banquet chairs are a bit smaller, so you have to normally would have to click the button quite a number of times, but no, not anymore. Just hold the chair there, hold the shift key, and you can just quickly fill a room really quick just by using the autofill tool. And what I can do there as well is just quickly I can go to my inventory report, and I've got these items selected. It's telling me I've got 656 chairs selected in this particular example. While we're here, let's just make a couple of aisles. So I'm just going to go through and just quickly make a couple of aisles here, and I might just make one also down the center. like so. And again, I can just do a quick check and I have 544. If I don't select any items, it will tell me everything that's currently on the plan. So the stage pieces and that as well.
And that report on the right-hand side is actually dynamic. So if you've got a larger floor plan and you want to find the equipment and where it is in a room, just put your cursor into the inventory report and you just double click on it and it will pull up those items, for example, like we've just done there. And David might go in and just change the color to red, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So easy way to find any element on your floor plan.
Yeah, 100%. So for where that comes in handy for you, I've got so a number of bar tables here. I'm just holding down the control key, by the way, and just moving my mouse to different locations while the control key is held down. Just a really quick copy method, that's all. And now I've got a few bar tables there. Now I can just, for example, double click, shows me all the bar tables, and that's where I can go into, say, my style tab and give them a different color. Like so, or I can just go, look, I don't need them anymore. I'm just going to delete them. Very quick way of looking for and searching and selecting items on the floor plan. So looking at that now, I just quickly wanted, while we're on shapes, just want to quickly show you a feature here you may not be aware of. Where we went into modify table before, I don't have anything selected. Doesn't matter if I did, but to the right of that, we've got a designer tab. So if I click the designer tab, this is where I can create my own dynamic tables. For example, let's just do a rectangular table. And again, it's in meters here, but if you have been set up in feet, this will come up in feet depending on what you've selected up here in your settings. I want a 2.4 meter rectangular table by 1.2. Okay. The max number of chairs. So this is the maximum that we're going to allow to have for this particular table. I'm going to do 5. Okay. And then max 2 on each side. I'll come back to these in a minute, but by default, we're just going to do 4. And none on the sides here. I'm just going to go create. And what that's done, that's created the table for me. And when I go back to my tables info, these are all now dynamic. And this is where we had the max number of 5. So it doesn't allow you to do any more than 5. And we can go through here and select those accordingly. And yep, absolutely. Let's put that back into our favorites as well, because that's what we're going to be using for our particular events coming up. And yeah, you can just delete that and rename it to whatever you want.
Amazing. So Dave, we're chugging along really well, but we want to make sure that we have enough time to cover.
It's going very quick, isn't it?
It is going really quick. So could we please cover layers, just show a little bit more about how we put an inventory on the plan and also share a plan, please. And then we just need to make sure we've got time for folders at the end.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
No worries. Thank you. Very quickly. So let's just go back on the inventory again, just while we've got items on the plan again. Just going to select all those, just going to copy them over here. Just trying to add a few more items onto the plan. We've got a couple of portable bars here as well that we might just add down the bottom, and we'll rotate that around and we'll stick it up there. Okay, so now we've got a few items on the plan. We're going to go to the inventory report, and what we can do from here is we can hit the copy report. And what that does, it puts a copy of it on the floor plan, which I'm going to place down here. And we will, to increase the size of that, what you need to do is just use your text increase, like so. Okay, and we can place that on the plan, and that will be printed with the plan PDF or your printers as well, however you want to do it. If you do update the floor plan, you will just have to delete that and just bring a new plan out.
Amazing. Let's look at layers.
100%. So let's just going to get rid of a few of these items here, So this particular plan that we have here, if I go into layers, have been pre-set up with a number. It's quite an extensive venue that can do a various number of different events here. But for example, just things like operable wars. So if we just turn on these, we've got layers here for operable wars. Okay, so as you can see, this particular venue has operable wars that can split into quadrants, and they can set up their events in quadrants, for example. Not only that, if you have other technical components, for example, floor pits, in this particular one with the grid lines, we've got house truss, and we've got rigging points. So as you can see, you can certainly set up your plans with a lot of technical information that you can turn on and off as required. I'm just going to turn a few of these off now because I just want to quickly show you how you can create your own layers, and I'm just going to turn off these operable walls. So not only can you use it for power and trusses and operable walls and things like that, you simply might just, let me just quickly type, oh yeah, I'll just leave a bar there. I'm just going to bring in a bar, a couple of bars like so. And I want to add these to a layer because the client's not sure if they want to have them in there, or you're not sure yourself, but let's just add it to a layer by hitting the plus button up at the top right, double clicking, and just put bars, rename. And now I'm going to add that to the bars layer. And now I can turn that on and off depending if I want to show it in this particular way. So you can add your own layers at any time, whether they're equipment that you need to add it to, or technical components of the venue. I want to just quickly show you while we're on layers as well. This venue has a lot of other components attached to it as well. So for example, we have these mez quadrants here as well. So if we were to untick those, underneath these ones, you can actually see the rest of the floor. So if we turn those back on again, like so, we can take those a step further, and we can actually add the fixed seating to these plans as well. So if you do have a venue that does have fixed seating, just would like to sort of show you that we can also add that to your plans for you. So yeah, that's some good run through on layers there. I'm just going to now turn these seats off.
Can you show the retractable as well? Because I think that's quite cool, and not everyone knows that we can do that. Yeah,
absolutely. So we have another client here. I'm just going to move over here. Retractable seating. Again, we can turn retractable seating on and off like so. So I've just used this one here, this block A retractable. The thing is, being retractable, it's like it's called. We can now select this, and we can actually physically drag this back. So as you can see, as I drag it back, because this particular venue, they can do this physically within their venue, we can also set this up. So you can physically drag this back depending on how many rows of seats you need to show for this particular event. So again, for those clients who do have that sort of setup, this can also be achieved in Eventdraw for retractable seating.
Very cool, Dave. Thank you. Could we just maybe just show print plan, print part of plan? Because that seems to come up quite a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to just, for this particular idea, I'm just going to turn a couple of these operable wall layers on here. And what I'll do, let me just quickly get rid of a couple of these items. Okay, perfect. So let's say we do have an event over here. I'm just going to right click group this, and I'm just going to turn this around like so. I'm going to place it over here, and very quickly just going to type in chair, and then bring out my banquet chair. I'm going to rotate it around, sorry, and then use our auto fill function here. Okay, so let's just say that was our event. Yes, so when you print a plan, you can come up to print plan and just do PDF full, which will print the entire floor plan for you. However, if you just want to print a certain aspect of the plan, you can go to print plan and print area. Now, from this point, what you can do is you just use your mouse now and select the area that you want to print. And I just want that area there. And what will happen on the right-hand side, it will give you a preview, and then you simply just export to PDF. And that's how you print certain areas of the plan.
I love it. And so what if you didn't want to print a PDF? What if you want to share a live link with a client?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you can do there, if I go over to this particular plan here, this is one that we may want to share to a client. First thing, before I do that, I'm just going to turn my inventory on. I'm going to copy the report. I'm just going to throw it over here. So we're all good with that. Increase the size a little bit, and we'll throw it there. Now what I can do, first thing I'm going to do is go to share plan, like so, and you'll see this toggle switch. So what you can do here is by turning this toggle switch on, like so, it's just going to quickly save the plan for you, just in case you've made any changes. And then simply by, you can then copy this link and share this link to your clients. You can open it as well, just to see what they're going to see from their end. So while that's loading up, you'll now see, this is what your client will see when you share the link with them. They don't need to register in Eventdraw. They don't need to set up a username or anything. That link is just so they can see what you see on your side. Obviously, they don't have the flexibility to move things around unless you click the allow edit, and then that's entirely up to you if you want them to move chairs and tables and things around. They can't obviously move pillars and walls and doors, but they do have access to move furniture around if you want to, but that's that toggle switch there.
Yeah, I think we'll leave that off. I think most people find
Yeah, that's right. I'll leave that one off. Yeah.
Do we want our client to play with the floor plan? Maybe not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Dave, we do have a couple of questions.
Yeah, go for it.
And I know that that's something that we created for our clients to make sure that they had a great way to be able to file and fold and find plans.
Sure.
Could you show that functionality? And guys, just to let you know, you do need to have an admin on your account, and your admin has special rights to be able to create folders. So if you do not have an admin or do not have folders at the moment, please feel free to contact support@eventdraw.com and let us know who the admin is going to be, and we'll be able to assist you and give you the option to create your own folders.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we just click our templates button here, so within your templates, you do have the option to create folders. So for example, level 1, level 2, level 3, or however you want to set up your different areas or different function spaces. However, we find that a lot of the clients also use it for their save layouts when they save it to the cloud. And again, this is just an example. The 1st of May, May, June, July, August, etc. So just by doing create folder, and I'm just going to do a say 07, and I'm just going to call it October, and we'll go create. And now that's created the folder for October, I can grab any of these plans here. If I want to do more than one, I hold down the control key like so, and I can move these 3, move folder straight into the October 7 folder like so.
That's amazing. And we've just chosen dates, but obviously they could be under the room name. Like, the convention is completely up to you. It could be under, like, you could have a max capacity plan for each different room and have all the max capacity plans within one folder. So the workflow is completely up to you. We've tried to leave that quite open for you, but it just gives you a way to be able to file and find.
Exactly right. And once you've created the folder, you can rename that and delete that folder. One quick note, when you delete that, you just can't have any files in there. You just got to move them out first before you do it. So that's with the folders there. Would you?
Amazing. So we're
questions.
Let's go for questions. So there's one, an auto align tool. Dave, could you just show
sure.
auto align?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just grab a piece of stage here. I'm just going to use my copy control. I'm going to ungroup this, and I'm going to steal a piece of stage, going to rotate it quickly around here. So let's just say you have this here, and they're all sort of everywhere. We can select the whole lot. 2 things we can do is we can go up to align and space, and we can align these across like so. And let's just say we wanted to auto space these. We're going to move them out. Just going to put them like that. Once we've aligned them, we can also go up here and just do space across as well, just by using your align and space. That's how you auto align things.
Amazing. We have a couple of questions around the title block. So can you customize the drawn by? So normally what would happen is it's a dynamic field. So the drawn by would be the operator that's actually logged into Eventdraw at the time.
Correct.
Yeah. The other question is on a legend. I'm just wondering, was that answered by the inventory item? That was Tony. Tony, are you still there?
Yep, Tony's there. Got the big thumbs up.
Oh, cool. I didn't mean to. Oh, yeah. So,
yep.
Cool. Okay, so great. So that answered that question. So that's
that's right. Yeah, I've answered that.
Okay, beauty.
And Dave, just quickly, you might just do a quick create your own custom table, but just a small, skinny trestle table.
Oh, and if we are going to, someone actually asked a question, how do you remove the number 1 from a table made in Table Designer? So we can answer that question at the same time.
Yeah, perfect. I've actually put some videos in for that we will send in the follow-up email or the recording. Okay, but if we can show that now, Dave, that'll be perfect.
Yeah, sure. So a skinny table just on its own.
Yep.
So all you need to do is when you set your number of chairs.
Sorry, I'll just go back one step. So if you just have a look here, where you click on modify table, there is a little tab to the right, and that tab to the right says designer.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
And if you click on designer, you'll notice here, this is where you can create a table from scratch.
Absolutely. And although it's got number 1 there, if you go back to your tables info, sorry, I've got to select it first. You see this show table number, you can just turn that off. While we're quickly on that, if you just want to create a shape, like it could be a stage or anything else or something like that, if you add shape up here and you go to size and position, you can just type in here whatever dimension you want. I need a 2.4 by a 1.5, that'll do. 1.5 meter stage or whatever. And then, if you want to keep that, you can then save that obviously back to your favorites, like so.
And we might just, oh yeah, you go.
Yep. Blah, 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 just to save a bit of time. And now that's there that you can use, which will also appear on your inventory item as well.
Well, Tony has a quick question on scaling.
Yes, go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, just I've created. Look, I've shown Jay some of my plans that I've done, and one of the questions that I have is when I do an event like a drawing, how can I have it where it looks like, instead of looking really small on a A4, then like so it looks normal.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to see on that, Tony. I've actually created you a video on that.
Yeah.
I've been doing it right now, so give me 5 minutes and then I will send that through.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Yep.
So how time flies when you're having fun. That was awesome. Our half an hour is up. So
exactly.
Please, guys, know that we do run these webinars about once every 6 weeks. We love showing you guys more tips and tricks on Eventdraw. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. We will be providing the recording of this webinar. And should you have any questions, I'm going to be having a look. I'll keep this meeting chat, and we'll make sure that all of these questions get turned into a support ticket, and we can absolutely answer all of your questions. So I think Jay's already created a whole lot of awesome videos. So we'll also share them to the whole group, so you all get to benefit from the cool questions that have been coming through.
Thank you, everyone.
Amazing.
Thank you, David.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks,
Thank you.
Jay. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.